that you can take with you pretty much anywhere you go for self-defense. The idea is to have something in your hand that you can fight with. It's a force multiplier that makes you strike a lot harder so you can stop the fight faster for self-defense if you need to. And the first thing I'm going to show you is my new favorite Selfy Stick. I know I've showed this a little bit before, but this is basically a palm stick or Yawara. Another version of this might be a Kubotan keychain. Another version would be pin. You might carry a marker. You could carry a self-defense pin, but um, a flashlight. I like the tactical flashlight. Carry a flashlight. It's basically a fist load. You put it in your hand, you squeeze really tight, and then when you hit with a lot more force. You can break his jaw for self-defense, knock him out, knock him back. You can also use the part coming out of your thumb, out of your pinky side to jab, coming straight down over the top, swinging this way, up under his chin. It can be an uppercut, however you want to hit him with it, a hook punch, any kind of punch that you normally use. Michael Sanchez is here. Hey, Michael, it's good to see you. But this is the Selfy Stick. There's a link in the description if you want to see what these are made of, how they're made. It's a really nice product. I think there's a lot of value there. They cost a little bit more than the wooden ones that you might make on your own or that I might make, but it is definitely a value proposition. You get a lot of value out of it because it's so well made. It's a little bit heavier because it's a solid piece of aluminum. It's machined in a way that it has this diamond grip on it. It keeps it from sliding out of your hands. They have two different sizes, a long one, a short one. Or like I said, you can do your own version of it. You can use the Kubotan keychain. You make your own. You make a 6-inch stick, carry it in your pocket. If someone asks you what it's for, that's why I carry them. I carry them when I travel. I put them in my bag. No one's ever taken them out. Another version of it is the tactical flashlight. It's out of my reach. It's in my other bag. I already took off my top part. It's on my kit that I carry all the time. But you've asked me recently, hey, how do you carry a stick? Because we talk about the Tanbo, the 18-inch self-defense stick, or any version of that, 12 inches or longer, is considered to be a Tanbo. The really long one, 28 inches, which is about as long as your arm, that would be more of a Kali stick, a Screamo or knee stick. That's something also you can carry. And there are sticks everywhere. I say, you might not be able to carry the Tanbo, the wood one that I make, that I would send to you. You might not take that into the airplane. They might stop you at TSA and say, hey, you can't take a stick on the plane. You might hit somebody with it, well, which is stupid because there's so many other things. I can take my walking cane. I can take this on the plane. And I would much rather be hit with a short stick than a long stick. So this is a perfect stick that you can take with you anywhere and everywhere you go for self-defense. But I want to talk about what if you wanted to carry a shorter stick, but you couldn't. What you do is you get the shorter stick, you train with it. You train with it at the house, you train with it in the garage, you train with it on in the alleyway, wherever you have to train. You practice your basic strikes, you practice using it as a fist load, because you also do that with the shorter sticks, like you do this Selfy Stick. But on the plane, you can have a magazine. Now, I grabbed this out of one of the offices. These are everywhere, probably because there's an ad for wherever I work in here. I won't show you the full back, but there's a person on the back that I've met a few times. Usually realtors are in books like this. This is just a relocation guide. In a book like this, a magazine like this, think of a nicer magazine. Like if you get a People magazine, those things, I think now they use that really thin paper. But if you get like a National Geographic, it's usually a little bit nicer. They cost a little bit more, have nice pictures in there. Yeah, Michael says a mag light can work for self-defense. That's a good stick that you can take with you pretty much anywhere. No one's going to take your mag light. But a relocation guide or any other magazine, it doesn't have to be a specific magazine. We have a lot of surf magazines, and a lot of stores that you go to, nicer stores, coffee shops, bookstores, have throwaway magazines. That means magazines that are free, usually at the front of the grocery stores, bodegas, gas stations. There's usually like a little rack. A lot of times there are like nicer houses, right? Nicer houses that cost more. Those realtors are willing to pay for a little bit nicer product. So it has nicer paper is my point. So with this magazine, we're going to turn this into an improvised stick that you can take with you anywhere you go. I have you hold it against your body. We practice this in my classes when we teach practical self-defense, things that you can use, pick up to defend yourself. That is a force multiplier. The idea is it's not one of these thing that I have right here. I'm still carrying. I'm still working. Still on break, but it's not a gun. I'm gonna say the word gun. It's not a gun. You're not gonna take out. It's not the same thing. But if you're on the airplane, you're not gonna have your gun anyway, unless you're federal law enforcement or you're undercover marshal or air marshal or whatever, or you're on a private plane. I don't know. Maybe you're on a private plane, but you don't have your weapon with you. You go to a lot of different places where you can't carry a weapon. You might live in one of the many countries in the world where they don't allow you to have anything for self-defense. They won't even let you have a little pocket knife. You can use a magazine, and of course the bad guys aren't following the rules, and they're carrying their knives and their guns and all their junk on them. That's because they don't. That's the whole point of being a criminal, I guess, is that you don't follow the rules. But us law-abiding citizens, us, right? We've got to improvise. So we're going to turn this into a stick. All right, hold it against the chest, and the key is to get it super tight. Don't overthink it though. It doesn't have to be. It's not an art project. You're not turning it in for a grade. You're just rolling it up. Get it as tight as you can, and then you squeeze it. Now you have an improvised stick that's going to work just as well as your other stick. Now, it's not going to last forever, but it will stop a blade in most cases, right? Unless it's like a Ginsu knife or the guy's a ninja and he's, I don't know, some stupid scenarios like that. But for the most part, you can smack that across his face. One time I smacked myself. You stick it in his eye, you can stick it in his throat, you can break his jaw with it, right? You can come down this way, you can come over the top, you can back fist him, you hit the guy behind you. You can take it with two hands, and by putting your hands together, you increase your power. You close that circuit and smash him with your fists, smash him back, drive your elbows into his face, hit the guy behind you, take it off here and slide it down this way and hold the short side here. You can still jab with it here, swing it into his ear, swing it into his throat, his neck, his ribs. Maybe he's coming down on top, you're sitting, jab here, come over the top, hit him with the long part. Use this part, twisting your wrist as you come across, smacking him across his face. Stick it in his eye, just like you had an ice pick. That's just called the ice pick grip, right? There's ice pick grip and a hammer grip, or another way called, they used to call that the screwdriver grip, like you're stabbing somebody with a screwdriver for self-defense, or you're hitting them with a hammer for self-defense. But the point is, holding, especially a magazine like this, because of the finish that's on it, it doesn't slide out of your hand. So it's actually even stronger from my experience, because we pressure test it in the class, put a little bit of padding on and start beating the snout out of each other using a stick. And you'll find it's not as effective as a long collie stick, but it's better than nothing. And it's a force multiplier. It takes what you have naturally. And there's your fist load. You can smash him in the face with it. You don't even have to hit him with the long part. Punch him here, come back with a back fist, smack him down on the top of his head. If I weren't sitting in the car, I'd get all into it and I'd show you how to do it. But I think you get the point. So whether it's an improvised stick, the question you asked me was, how do I carry that Tombow, that 18-inch Tombow? Now, this isn't 18 inches, but it's 14. It's just a few inches short. And again, it's better than nothing. And when you squeeze it tight, this is heavy. The magazine becomes a fist load. You're punching here, you're smashing this part, the short part, you're hitting with the long part, and you can jab them in with that long part. And it's not bending, it's not folding, especially if it's a little bit nicer than this. If it is one of those cheap People magazines, or one of those thin magazines, like a throwaway, I don't know what they call those, the National Enquirer or whatever, or one of those cheap, you grab 3 or 4 was what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Fill in the blank. Cheap magazines. You put them all together and then you roll them up. Hey, Eleanor, it's good to see you. Yeah, Eleanor says simple but effective method using the magazine. Turning the magazine into an improvised self-defense tool, into a stick. We learn how to fight with sticks. Fight, practice all your strikes. Practice keeping them close, keeping the stick between you and the threat. Practice your back fist. You're hitting them in the groin. You're smashing them in the eye. And then when you can't carry your stick with you because you're going to go on a trip, and you have to go through somebody who's going to open your bag and start pulling stuff out and throwing it over here and say, you can't take that with you, can't take that on the train, can't. And again, somehow the bad guys are getting them through. I don't know, but we're not criminals, right? So we follow the laws, carry a couple of magazines, and then if you need to, you see the guy coming down the aisle, getting in people's face, hurting people, spitting on people, throwing feces on people, coming after people. You don't have any other choice. You're just going to start rolling up your magazine. And there was that movie. It's Matt Damon, right? Matt Damon in what are those movies called? Sorry, I had an itch. Um, the Bourne movies, Bourne Identity, Bourne something, Bourne Ultimatum. Those are the names. I don't know which one it was. It's one of those Bourne movies, and he's fighting. I think like the Russian bad guy. It's always a Russian bad guy, right? He's fighting the other guy who's really probably they all work for the CIA. They all work for the same people. It's not political. That's just the movies. That's the movie. They always do that in the movies. The good guy realizes he's fighting another good guy, but by then he's dead. He's cut him up and he smashed him through the wall and elbowed him in the throat and all that. But in the middle, he's fighting him with a magazine because the other guy's got a knife. He's got nothing but skin. He don't want to lose his fingers. He rolls up a magazine and goes to work. And that's Filipino martial arts. That's one of the principles of Filipino martial arts is using whatever you got, use whatever you have to become a force multiplier, turn things into a weapon. They have flexible weapons, rip off your shirt, right? In the olden days, if you had a guy with a knife and you didn't have a knife and you were wearing a thick jacket, you take it off and wrap it around your arm. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. You do that so that you don't get sliced as you close the gap and try to take away his ability to stab you to death and slash you up, and then you smash his throat for self-defense. Sorry, I got carried away. I did want to say I'm going to make a video about a gift. If you have a martial artist in your life or you want to treat yourself, right? Get one of these selfie sticks. I put the link in this description. There's the short one, and I think you can get black or green. There might be more. I didn't really look too closely at it. I just really like this product. You squeeze it, you jab it, you punch him in the face, you swing it for self-defense. And you have the long one. Look at that one. It's 8 inches. It's 6 inches, fist loads, and then all of the other strikes that you can do to defend yourself with. And if you had like these great stocking stuffers, if you had a few martial artists in your life or people who care about self-defense and you were struggling, what can I get them? He has everything. She has everything. What can I get my martial artist as a gift? Think about the selfie stick. I think you can still order them and get them before Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Ramadan's coming up. I think it was in this document I got from somebody. I won't tell you why, but anyway, we'll stay away from that topic too. Stay safe. I want you to stay safe, and I want you to think about getting a selfie stick. And if you buy from my link, I get a small commission. I got to be honest. I don't want to ever trick you into buying something that you don't want. But if you like these, if you are like me and you like I don't need anything. I don't. My kids ask me all the time, Dad, I want to get you some for Christmas this year. What can I get you? I'm like, I don't want anything. I want world peace. I want people to be nice to each other. I don't want to have to go to work. My daughter said, none of my friends like you. They think you're mean. I said, what do you mean? They say that you look like you're always ready to fight somebody. I said, I am. I'm doing my job. I am. If someone comes to where I work and wants to threaten and one of these children, or hurt one of these kids, or hurt one of these teachers, I will destroy them. I will take everything from them, humanly possible. Yes, I am. So I'm doing my job. So happy. Yeah, I got that feedback. Anything that threatens you, you threaten it back. You can do that with the selfie stick. That's my little ad for the selfie stick. Anyway, check it out if you like it. If you don't check it out. But let me know in the description, what do you think about an improvised self-defense tool? Train with the stick at your house. Get yourself a 36-inch dowel rod, cut it in half, sand it down, oil it up, or get one of mine. I'll send them to you. And then train, practice. And then when you go out and you can't carry your stick, because you keep asking me, I get that question like 10 times a day. It's not really that many. That's an exaggeration. But I get that question a lot. How do you carry that stick? And sometimes they say you can't carry it. You can't carry it everywhere, but you can carry a magazine everywhere, as long as it's not the wrong magazine or whatever, a gross magazine. You carry a magazine with you wherever you go. You roll it up. You're ready to fight. You have an improvised self-defense tool. You can keep yourself safe, keep your family safe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.